Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018. The WWE announced the following yesterday. Tonight on Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns, aka Joe Anoa'i, announced that he is relinquishing the WWE Universal Championship and taking a leave of absence from WWE as he once again fights leukemia, which had been in remission since late 2008. Reigns has taken his battle with leukemia public in an effort to raise awareness and funds for research in order to advance cures for the disease. And also, as you know, many WWE stars reacted to the news about Roman Reigns battling leukemia, and here are some of the responses. John Cena tweeted, "Courage, strength in the face of pain or grief. You have given us your everything, including a courageously vulnerable moment. We, your WWE family, give you all of our love and support. Hashtag thank you Roman, hashtag never give up." Renee Young tweeted, "Sending so much love to Roman Reigns and his family. You're one of the strongest dudes I know, and I can't wait to see you back in that ring. Hashtag thank you Roman." Tommy Dreamer tweeted, "You will defeat this again, Roman Reigns. 2 out of 3 falls, Superman punch, and spear. Squash effing cancer. Much love to you and your family." Paige tweeted, "Sending all the love to Roman Reigns. He's a Superman and one of the hardest workers in WWE and a true leader. Hashtag thank you Roman." The Usos tweeted out a childhood photo of themselves with Roman Reigns and wrote underneath the photo, "We've been here for you and will stay here for you. Day one Us. We love you. Hashtag thank you Roman." Rebecca Quinn, known better as Becky Lynch, tweeted, "Roman Reigns, you are the definition of what it means to be a leader and a champion and one of the toughest lads on the planet. We are all behind you and sending love. You will beat this. Hashtag thank you Roman." Sasha Banks tweeted, "Love you Roman Reigns. You taught me so much about what it means to be a superstar here. Can't wait to see you back." And Chad Gable tweeted, "Roman Reigns exemplifies everything I believe a true leader should be. Proud to have shared a locker room with him, and I'll be proud to share it with him again after he wins this battle. Hashtag thank you Roman." I also want to read the tweet that Johnny Gargano made yesterday. I feel as though it is the perfect words to say during this really horrible moment. Johnny Gargano tweeted, "Our job gives us the ability to portray larger-than-life characters who possess superhuman qualities and characteristics. After hearing his story, it's very apparent that Joe Anoa'i is just as much of a superhero as Roman Reigns is." Also, New Japan Pro Wrestling issued the following message to Roman Reigns on Twitter. NJPW tweeted, "A champion transcends any company. Roman Reigns, on behalf of New Japan Pro Wrestling, we all wish you a speedy recovery." Braun Strowman also posted the following message on his personal Instagram account. "I've been in many wars with this man. He's been my biggest rival on TV, but behind the scenes he's one of my closest friends. He is one of the toughest men I've ever met, and I have no doubt he'll kick leukemia's ass and be back to battling with me soon, and I can't wait. You and your family are in my prayers. Love you, Big Oos. Hashtag FU Cancer." And also NXT star Aleister Black wrote the following about Roman Reigns on his Facebook page. "Roman Reigns, I'm not someone who usually does this, but given the circumstance I felt I wanted to write a little bit. When I started out in wrestling, it wasn't easy to get in as it is now. Back in 2000, wrestling, especially coming from the Netherlands, was still somewhat hidden. People weren't eager to train you, and you'd have to seek out your training in different countries and finding people that just wanted to train you. It wasn't as easy as paying a school and just going there. I'd like to think that a part of my training enjoyed some classical aspects in the form of respect. Respecting other people's moves, other people's characters, and locker room etiquettes. Something that, to an extent, was also found in the dojos that I used to train when doing pencastilat or kickboxing. I would carry this with me along the path to other places in Europe, Japan, and eventually the WWE. Fast forward 17 years, and it is May 2017, and I'm having my first tour with Raw, live events and working main event against Kurt Hawkins. During the live events, I'd make sure that the locker rooms were kept clean after the wrestlers were gone, the garbage was taken care of, towels were stacked, and that post-match people have water, especially the upper card, stuff that in my opinion is long forgotten and not practiced anymore. However, I feel that these things are important as they teach about respect and keep you humble, something very much needed in this generation. After a few nights, we sat down as I also tried to let people get to know me, as it is important for the people that you work with to see you and are able to interact with you. These are your colleagues and the people you work with for hopefully a very long and fulfilling time. During the sit-down, I got a chance to talk to Roman a little bit, and we talked about tattoos, music, his background, and his heritage. At a certain point during that conversation, Roman looked at me and said, "I don't want you cleaning up the locker rooms anymore. I want you to understand that you belong here, and I want for you to kill it every night and be a part of the team. That's all I care about. You've been wrestling long enough to understand how this works, so please, relax." I would have never stopped doing that until a locker room leader like Roman, Seth, Bray, or Finn would have told me to stop, because that's how I was taught. Earn your keep, earn your place, earn respect. Every time after that, when I would see him, he would greet me with a big hug and ask me how I was doing in his calm and composed demeanor. Despite not knowing Roman very well, despite having limited interactions with Roman, I am very thankful for them. At the end of that same tour, Roman told us to be thankful and that no matter what match you had, good or bad, the beauty was that we get to do it all over again the next day. And he's right. All the strength to a fantastic human being, performer, and leader. Till we meet again, Roman. Well said by Aleister Black. And I too want to send prayers, well wishes, and good vibes out to Joe Anoa'i and his whole family. It's just still a shock to me hearing those words. I also want to add that I was watching NBC Nightly News tonight, and they had a little featurette of Roman Reigns on NBC Nightly News. It's just still hard to process that this guy that was the top guy in WWE is got leukemia. And I think what's really incredible and what's amazing is that he went out there and busted his ass every single night having this horrible, horrible disease. He still went out there and busted his ass and, would not back down from what he loved to do. And I think that really shows you how amazing of a human being Joe really is. So, well wishes, prayers, and good vibes out to Joe Anoa'i and his family. Kick cancer's ass, big dog. On Wrestling Observer Live, 4FWOnline.com's Brian Alvarez addressed how many people knew about Roman Reigns having leukemia. Here's what Alvarez said, courtesy of RingsideNews.com. "I am told that a very small amount of people knew beforehand, probably between 6 and 8 of the top executives. So when the show opens and the announcers are all happy talking about Roman Reigns defending the title at Crown Jewel, none of that was a put on. None of them had any idea what was going on until he went out there and did his speech, and he has since gone home, and that's the story. I guess we'll just have to find out how well he does with treatment. The second battle, it's worrisome." Also, last night's Monday Night Raw did 2.548 million viewers, which was the highest number for the show since the night after Hell in a Cell. The hourly numbers were hour number 1, 2.609 million, hour number 2, 2.622 million, and hour number 3, 2.413 million. On Wrestling Observer Radio, 4FWOnline.com's Dave Meltzer addressed the Dean Ambrose and Elias turns from last night's Monday Night Raw. Here is what Meltzer said, courtesy of RingsideNews.com. "They turned Elias, they turned Dean Ambrose. I don't know if either of them was scheduled originally. The Dean Ambrose one was going to go, but it wasn't going to be this week. You can debate that aspect of it, whether it's the right or wrong thing to do. From a business and emotional standpoint, this was the week to do it. The reason it was the week to do it from a business and emotional standpoint kind of makes you mad that they went that way and did it, but that's business." Dave Meltzer continued on by saying, "I don't know that Elias was going to do a turn this week, but they obviously need some baby faces, Last week they needed heels, this week they need baby faces. Elias was going to turn at some point, so that was done this week." Also on Wrestling Observer Live, 4FWOnline.com's Brian Alvarez addressed the Dean Ambrose heel turn against Seth Rollins on last night's Monday Night Raw. Here's what Alvarez said, courtesy of RingsideNews.com. "He wasn't even supposed to turn heel last night. The actual plan was that he was going to turn around Survivor Series, and they moved it up, and they specifically did it to capitalize on the emotions of a guy who's home to fight for his life. Alvarez also speculated on a big singles match between Rollins and Ambrose taking place at WrestleMania 35 by saying, "I believe 100% that the WrestleMania main event is Seth Rollins challenging Dean Ambrose for the WWE title. Now how you get there, I have no idea." Also on Wrestling Observer Radio, 4FWOnline.com's Dave Meltzer addressed the status of WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Here's what Meltzer said, courtesy of RingsideNews.com. "The Saudi Arabia show is very much in jeopardy as far as what's going to happen. There's only a few people who could get Vince. Vince was adamant about doing the show. I mean, they'll pull out of it if they have to pull out, but it was going to take a lot to pull them out. I was told it would take Trump or government officials, and there is something in that thing that's out there." Meltzer continued on by saying, "That's why tickets didn't go on sale on Friday. The decision has not been made, but it's a lot less than it was a week ago when they were pretty gung-ho in doing the show. It's in jeopardy from outside forces that are pretty much, I don't know the exact dialogue, but there is absolutely pressure on Vince not to go now." Meltzer continued on by saying, "What will happen? Again, we have the other questions, Brock's money, Shawn's money, the future of the contract. Do they go back? Do they go back and do the show in a month because the pressure will be off in a month? Does the pressure go off this weekend and they do the show? There are a lot of unanswered questions, and again, we'll just have to wait and see how this transpires." According to an article on TheWrap.com, WWE is waiting for a report to be released today regarding the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi before making a final decision regarding plans for Crown Jewel. TheWrap.com stated, "Due to time zone differences, WWE will likely not have a decision before tonight's SmackDown episode, but the brass are expected to make a call on Wednesday. The WWE talents have continued to promote Crown Jewel, but have not mentioned Saudi Arabia as the location for the event." And finally, here on Jammin John's Wrestling News, WWE Evolution is currently scheduled to have a kickoff show at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The main pay-per-view is expected to last from 7 p.m. Eastern Time to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And that is your news for Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices. Big shout out to everybody listening to this on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Stewie Family is the name. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, the Jammin John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, wanting to get your next big event out, through the awesome power of Amazon Alexa, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/jamminjohn. I have free packages on there ranging from $3 to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/jamminjohn. This is Jammin John saying thanks, goodbye, and get well soon, big dog.